Welcome back, everyone. Today we're gonna talk about Genesis 1, verse 26. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the heavens, the cattle, all the earth, and every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." This verse is one of the most mystically loaded and theologically profound in the entire Torah. According to the Zohar, Genesis 1 verse 26 reveals the inner purpose of creation, the emergence of the human soul, Adam, who embodies all levels of divine expression, created B'Tselem Elohim in English, in the image of God. This moment is not just about biology or physical form. It is about installing the divine blueprint into matter, uniting all realms in a single being. The first phrase we have, "Let us make man." This is the mystery of plurality. The plural language, "let us make," is a key focus in the Zohar. God is not speaking to angels, as the plain reading might suggest, but to the divine Sephirot, the inner aspects of himself. The 10 Sephirot, attributes like Chesed, in English kindness, Geburah, for judgment, Tiferet, harmony, are vessels through which the infinite expresses itself. By saying, "Let us make," the Zohar teaches that the entire Sephirotic structure is involved in forming man. Thus, the human being reflects the entire tree of life. This language reveals that man is not a simple creature, but a cosmic nexus forged by the interaction of divine forces. The next phrase we have, "in our image, after our likeness." This is divine reflection in form and essence. Two terms are used here. Tzelem, which means image, often associated with structure or spiritual form. The second term is demut, or in English is likeness, associated with function or potential for divine expression. According to the Zohar, Tzelem refers to the innate configuration of the human soul, mapped onto the Sephirot, the inner structure of divinity. The second term is demut, refers to the capacity for free will, creativity, compassion, justice, traits that mirror divine action. Thus, being made in God's image is not physical, but about being a living interface between heaven and earth, creator and creation. The next phrase we have, "let them have dominion." This is sacred stewardship, not exploitation. The Zohar emphasizes that dominion, in Hebrew viyirdu, does not mean tyrannical control, but responsibility. The root can also mean to guide gently, as in a shepherd. Humanity is placed not above, but within creation, with the task of elevating, refining, and channeling the divine light within all creatures. By naming the elements over which Adam has dominion, fish, birds, cattle, creeping things, this verse shows that humanity is the microcosm of all creation, and therefore charged with its elevation. Adam as the unifier of worlds. The Zohar explains that Adam is an acronym made from the three Hebrew characters, which is Aleph, Dalet, and Mem. First, we have Aleph, which is Adam, the human, made in the image of the Aleph of Ein Sof, which is the infinite one. The second Hebrew letter is Dalet. Dalet for the four directions or four elements, which is earthly completeness. And the third letter we have Mem, can be represented as Makom, which means place. This refers to God's immanence within creation. Adam is therefore the link between the infinite and the finite, the one being whose soul stretches from the highest supernal light to the lowest earthly form. So the Zoharic secret behind this verse is the blueprint before the body. Before Adam was formed physically, later in Genesis 2, the Zohar teaches this verse speaks of Adam Ha-Elion, the primordial man or divine archetype, a spiritual being encompassing all dimensions of creation. The supernal Adam exists before time and form, the thought of man in the mind of God. The physical Adam is a projection or reflection of this archetype into space and time. Thus, Genesis 1 verse 26 is about the divine intention to clothe the infinite in the image of the finite. Humanity's potential to recreate the world. To be in God's image means to create, choose, repair, and elevate. The human being is endowed with speech, reason, emotion, and will, tools that mirror divine action. The Zohar says, when a righteous person acts in alignment with the divine, he sustains worlds. When he sins, he damages them. Thus, Adam's dominion is not power for power's sake, but a mission to elevate creation back to its source through awareness, mitzvot, and transformation. So Genesis 1 verse 26, through the lens of the Zohar, reveals the spiritual climax of creation, the formation of Adam, the human soul. God says, "Let us make man," a statement the Zohar interprets as divine consultation with the Sephirot, the inner aspects of the divine self. Humanity is thus formed by and in the image of the entire tree of life. The terms image and likeness refer not to physical shape, but to the spiritual form and divine capacity embedded within the soul. Man mirrors God in consciousness, morality, creativity, and freedom of choice. The dominion given to humanity is not a license to dominate, but a sacred responsibility to care for and elevate creation. Each creature listed, fish, birds, cattle, and creeping things, represents a dimension of the world and of the human psyche that man is meant to integrate and refine. In the Zohar, this verse speaks of the supernal Adam, a cosmic archetype, a soul of souls, whose manifestation in physical form is the fulfillment of the divine desire to dwell within the lowest realms. Humanity is thus called to be a bridge between heaven and earth, matter and spirit, capable of building or destroying, of hiding or revealing God. The verse reminds us to be human is to hold the entire universe within and to bear the immense task of illuminating it with divine light. That's it for today. Thank you very much for your donation. Be blessed, everyone, and I will see you on the next episode.